DreamHack is here and our live coverage has begun. Over the course of the event, you can visit the Season 1 Championship website for lots of exciting updates, including matches streamed live with professional commentary, pre- and post-game interviews with the competitors, tournament brackets that update as games finish, photos from the show floor, and much, much more. So head on over to the event site and learn more about the League of Legends Season 1 Championship at DreamHack.
Hey guys, welcome back from the tournament area here, back to the casting booth. Myself, Rivington III, and Xenon hanging out here. We are watching some epic matches right now. If you're just joining us on the stream, I'm sorry, but thanks for joining us, however, because you've just missed two of the most amazing matches of the weekend. We have TSM, Team SoloMid versus Against All Authority. The first match going into an incredible base race down to the last millisecond. Against All Authority rushing through the inhibitor, knowing they didn't have a turret to go from it. It all started at Baron. They split off and went both ways, and TSM just made that move a little bit faster, was able to grab the Nexus before Against All Authority. The crowd absolutely went wild. We were just absolutely mind blown. And then another game going in favor of Against All Authority. They turned another fight around near the river about Baron. It wasn't really going for Baron whatsoever, but that's where they were able to make the fight happen. That Warwick being able to chase him out, and you know. And
up to that last fight, TSM was, in my opinion, slightly ahead. You know, up to the last team fight, they were so close that I could not call it. And if I would have had to call it, I would have called it for the enemy team, you know? And then they win that one fight and they just rush on through. They're like, we're going to kill you. Oh, Demacia, very good. I like that. Yes, so we have all players in game right now. I'm going to check if we're ready. I think we should just launch into this right away.
Wow. I'm sure they are so ready, absolutely fueled on adrenaline. At this point in time, we saw what Against All Authority was doing at the end of that match, jumping up, just absolute adrenaline running through their veins, hugging each other, just holding their heads almost in tears of happiness for taking that game, keeping themselves in that position in this semi-final matchup here at DreamHack. $100,000 up for grab. The Season 1 League of Legends Championship on the line right now, and we're going to see which one of these teams will move on and push the other one down to the lower bracket to have to climb their way back out for that victory. We are going to see if they are ready. We do have Reginald. He is taking a quick break, not break, but he is AFK. Once he is back, we will get the picks and bans underway. Xenon, what do you think about these matches so far? How can there be a different pick or ban that comes out that's really going to stop one of these teams?
I don't know. I am clueless. If I wasn't any of these teams, I'd be in panic mode right now. I have no idea what to do. One thing that I just went through my head is that I would have lost my voice at home as well. These matches...
Oh, of course. I'd be yelling at the top of my lungs right now.
This is the closest I've seen, and trust me, I watch more League of Legends than is healthy for any man, and this is the closest I've seen in anything, anywhere. And something else that you viewers at home unfortunately just missed there was a Gragas cosplay by Shushe in front of the audience here, so that was pretty good. We are in the bans and picks right now, though, so yeah, that wasn't entirely PG-13, and the Nidalee ban as always.
Yes, the Nidalee, and there is the Vayne, two of the same top bans that have come out from Yellow Star, or rather Against All Authority and Team SoloMid
you know
so far.
They're being super conservative even in the bans. Aurelia banned. She did. Oh, actually, Aurelia banned.
Yes.
They really want to shut down SOAS. If they ban Warwick third, then all three were aimed at SOAS, but I don't think it's going to be a Warwick ban. Probably something else that's top lane, though. What I think, though, is that they're super conservative even in their bans. These are super similar to the bans so far.
Possibly.
And they just want to go. It kind of worked for both of us. If we make a mistake right now, we may be out of this. Twisted Fate, there you go.
They are possibly
super careful.
You know, a band coming out that would be against MoMA because he has been huge
Warwick,
in there as the Souls band. Yep, you are correct. The Warwick, they do not want that again. Who wants somebody that can stand at your turret for 30 seconds and just punch you in the mouth? Not this guy. So they are not going to let that happen this time. The last band to go to Yellow Star. We'll have to see what they do, and then it's going to be the picks for Team SoloMid.
SOAS is probably sitting there with that grin this size on his face right now. All three bands aimed at
I
me.
made him do that.
They don't want me dominating top lane. You know what? He's going to pick Vlad to dominate top lane anyway. And Jarvan.
All right.
Okay, Jarvan has been really good early game again. TSM, a very strong early mid-game compo that we've been seeing so far, and we have to see if they change that. If I was a TSM, I would say, let's go for a safe, maybe a poke setup that also translates into a late game. Because, you know, Cillian doesn't translate into a late game. There's a Nunu again, always a great pick. I'm not going to argue with the Nunu ever. That's just...
Yeah, it's somebody you're sure of in the jungle. He can assist the team with Blood Boil. He can keep himself healed up. He's kind of that guy you don't need to worry about. Yeah. Willump and Nunu doing their own thing. Willump obviously being the Yeti, Nunu being the little guy on top, throwing snowballs at your face. And we're going to see the 2 picks here coming out of Against All Authority, Kuja and Yellow Star. Kuja, the support, we'll have to see what he goes to choose. Yellow Star, the carry, and we will also see what he has to choose. And, the Rumble was not banned. That's
Rumble.
right. Rumble is picked.
Wow.
Finally within these matches. We saw him once in the first day, never in the second day yet, at least from our commentary. And I've been watching most of the matches, and I don't think I've seen him once again. So we'll have to see what he can put out for damage here. And we do have an special going out with Alistar, so we're going to have some roaming around. The odd one gets Vladimir, and we're going to see Chaos switching it up there.
If Soas runs the Rumble top and nominates them, they're just going to go home and have nightmares of Soas. That's just what it's going to be. Because Rumble is played top in a European meta as well. He can be played mid, but he's usually played top. And if you have a really good Rumble player, SK's Ocelot, for instance, is very, very good with his Rumble. He can just make your life hell. He adds so much to a gank. You can just cut off any retreat path from your laning enemy. And that Rumble is going to hurt. I'm going to call that right now. That Rumble is going to be pain.
He is going to be. We'll have to see. Who do you think is going to have him?
So Moma can play him. Moma is a very strong Rumble player, but I'm still saying, because Moma, Karthus is open, and I would expect to see a Karthus as well.
Yes.
And I think Source is going to take Rumble and run him top. So, they picked the support first. They're going to say,
So
you know what?
Yep, it's going to be Kuja.
You know, we have Moma in our team. He can play flawless Anivia. He can play a flawless Malzahar. He can play a flawless Karthus. It doesn't matter what AP we get. Moma's going to dominate anyway.
So it looks like those are going to be the 2 picks there. They're going to have a jungle of Mumu, and Moma will switch it up, at least with Kuja, and then we'll have to see what actually goes into the hands of Moma, as he could, as you said, could play Rumble, but more of an AP carry. We'll see what he picks out. Ooh, Singed. Very nice. And we're going to have a Reginald picking up on Caitlyn. Maybe a switch around there, possibly giving him Vladimir.
I just saw a white grin on Freak's face in the audience there. Hey, Singed. Very good there. I hope we're going to see some amusing stuff, because I have to say, who was that Singed that did amazing stuff yesterday? Dyrus, yeah.
Yes.
Oh god, that was so much fun to watch. I just heard the yakety sax in the background. It was running around. And that's actually, we should make that happen.
Throw up the Benny Hill.
Yes. I don't know if we have the rights to that, but that would be ideal. That would be ideal, really. He's just running around, slowing people, poisoning them, flinging them each way. It's beautiful to watch. Let's see what's going to be their second AP. 20 seconds left for the pick here, and we are going to be
definitely
strict.
taking their time.
If that time runs out,
and he will take the Malzahar back. Moma going to play another Malzahar game, and this is going to be a great amount of damage for, Against All Authority to initiate on the fight. He plays a very aggressive Malzahar, does a lot of damage early game, pushes the lane as much as possible to shut down the lane he's in, and not necessarily zone out the character. That's what you're really letting them not get any XP or gold, but he will be able to semi-zone them out and not let them farm, as all those minions just go right to the turret.
Yeah. I'm seeing something here, dude. I'm seeing, Soas top. Soas top Rumble. Oh, God. Soas, you are a mean man. I'm seeing something here. I'm seeing a null zone from Malzahar. I'm seeing a Rumble ulti, and I'm seeing a Malzahar ulti keeping them in those 2 AoEs.
Yeah,
and,
especially you got a Mumu as well to come in there. Bandage toss, Sona, also the crescendo to make everybody just kind of dance it up a little bit while they're taking tons of damage. Not exactly what you want to do.
Let's talk about TSM, though.
Yes.
What do you see there? What's their synergies going to be?
Oh, we're definitely going to have the initiation by the Rain Man. That's easy enough. Start poisoning everybody. They're going to have to run. That's the split. He's going to really play the role of what Sauz did last game, and spread everybody out with that Warwick. Nobody wants to touch him first. You don't want to waste your cooldowns on him. You want to be able to use them for the squishies, and that's going to be finding Caitlyn, who has a lot of range, so they're not going to be able to do that. Xpecial is just going to be able to heal up the team when he needs to. Reginald, left alone, not left alone by himself, but really not to be worried about by the team. The odd one, obviously channeling his ult with Nunu, and Alistar really too. If anybody starts to initiate on Chaos, if anybody starts to get too much damage done, they're pulverized and the headbutt out of range, or to initiate more of the team fight. So there's not too much initiation that's going to stop everything. Rain Man can fling, and they can continue to do that, but no real stuns besides pulverize, and Xpecial has to be in the position to make that happen. So just a fling back to Xpecial, fling them right into the pulverize, and that would be really nice.
That would be nice to see, absolutely. And once again, we can see that TSM has the far tankier lineup.
Yes.
We have everyone tanky except for Caitlyn. And on the other team, we have a Squishy Corki, can Valkyrie out.
Yep,
okay.
yep.
We have Sona. If she's focused, and Freak Point was out yesterday, Sona is a support who needs to stick around for the full fight to be really impactful.
Yeah.
And we have a Malzahar. They are running Flash on everyone on Team AAA. In Europe, you hardly don't see Flash. And Rainman and Reggie choosing not to go Flash. That Reggie, that vampire, no, sorry, he's not a vampire, I take that back, that Blood Mage on Vladimir with his Ignite as well. It's just, he can flash him, put his ulti down, put the Ignite on top of the ultimate and just start doing so much damage, and you will probably not get away because the Ignite will keep ticking, and then when the Ignite is done, the ulti finishes, and bam, that's you gone, usually.
Yep.
I am going to be watching Rumble, though, I have to say. So, I have to admit this.
Admit.
I am the worst Rumble player in the world.
You heard it here.
You know what I do? I go into a fight and I do this. Yes, yes, I can use all my abilities.
I have heat.
And then it's like, warning, 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 warning. Like, oh, I can't actually do anything anymore. And I cannot stop myself from doing that. These top-level players, they know how to pace themselves out, so they know when to actually use the harpoon, when to use the flamethrower. I love seeing a good Rumble, and I am going to have my fun here, I imagine, as we go into the final game of this epic, epic best of three. Team SoloMid versus AAA. Let's hear it for the teams.
Begin this one, 175,000 viewers about to watch this final semifinal match go down in the best of three. We do have one in favor of TSM with the base race, one in favor of Against All Authority in their final win with the 4-man push on that last one. And we're going to have to see what happens in this final matchup here as these teams go head-to-head, adrenaline pumping through their veins. As I said, blood, sweat, and tears, everything to be left on the field tonight and to think about the games tomorrow. Who will come out with the win? And we will have to see right here as the game begins. We are 1 minute into the matchup, and we will see what happens. Very cautious play from both teams. No jungle invasion whatsoever. Nobody's even setting up for the gank, and we are going to see this going straight off the bat, and they're going right into the laning phase.
Ooh, look at that. They're actually running Rumble mid. Yeah, that makes sense too. I mean, yeah, you kind of, like I said last game, you kind of want to have the on-demand suppression. You know, suppression that can just teleport into a team fight is going to ruin TSM's day if they pull it off correctly. And if you run a teleport on your team, you always want to run it on the top lane because the top lane is far away from Dragon, far away from lots of places where fights can happen. So he's going to need the teleport. So in that case, it was a decision of, yeah, we're going to need a teleport on Malzahar, so we might as well
Rumble in mid, he can just use his W to get around very fast as well. It gives him a little bit of a speed boost, and he can just continue to do that until he overheats.
Yeah, so we see 4-man actually protecting that blue here. For Amumu, Amumu was super fragile early on in his jungle, so it does make sense that they were all sticking around helping him. Nunu, of course, not fragile at all, one of the easiest junglers. If you're just getting started in League of Legends and you want to learn how to jungle, you wouldn't go wrong with Nunu.
No,
you
not
practically cannot mess up a Nunu jungle. The consume is just so powerful. You have that passive as well.
Wow, so bottom lane, Yellow Star taking a lot of damage right there. Sort of cut you off, but Yellow Star was absolutely taking so much damage right there. He got an special Pulverize already on level 2. Wasn't able to get the headbutt there in time. But yeah, as you said, Nunu, the jungler, you could easily be learning the jungle with. He has the regular route to go into the jungle, regular path from blue, wolves, wraiths, and around. But sometimes you can get that consume on one of the wraiths, head out there, consume a wolf, rather the blue wolf, and then go for your blue with somebody who's still leashing it. Gives you a little bit of experience and allows you to level up as you're going through that situation of the blue.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
We can see that Diobon this time choosing not to be aggressive. Normally we see a Nunu going into the enemy forest at level 2 already, but he's choosing to just do his normal route, which is, you know, it's fine too. I'm not entirely sure why he's choosing not to do it, but well, we do have Rumble who can move very quickly up there with his W and help Amumu in the jungle, so it probably did make sense. Amumu finished his first rotation, is going to blue pill home here in the bushes, and oh, this is an interesting start. I didn't see a regrowth pun on the jungle Amumu before, but it does seem to make sense. Let's see what he's picking up in his first trip back to the shop. Probably boots and some more potions. Oh, he's turning into a Philostron, of course. Yeah, that makes sense. The gold per 10 meta has kind of passed me by yet. You know how it goes with meta games? They start in the high elo and they trickle down to the lower elo, and the heavy gold per 10 hasn't arrived at my level quite yet, so I'm not used to it yet.
Looks like they're prepping for something up top. Nunu, however, could be backing here at level 3. Vlad pushing quite hard in mid, but if he doesn't blue pill, Rain Man is coming up, and it looks like he just actually got CV'd right there. See that? Yes, Kuja did use that CV. I believe that MoMA might have seen him as he walked down towards that bottom river, or towards the top river, and he might have just seen a quick peek of Nunu there and was able to get out of that situation. You can see the ping there as well. Somebody may be there.
Look at mid lane. Look at how aggressive that Rumble can be against that Vladimir. Even though the Vladimir can constantly heal. And you know, I met Reggie in Gothenburg in the airport day before yesterday. Wow, it feels like it was at least a year ago. With so much going on in the meantime. And he says that he feels very, very confident about his Vlad mid lane. He says that unless there are really strong ganks, usually people cannot outlane his Vlad. And you know, from watching his stream, he's not wrong. I have rarely seen him outlaned on Vlad. But, you know, if someone can do it, then it's probably Source.
This is very true. We're going to have to see if he can do that with Rumble. Again, MoMA pushing his lane, as I said before. Rain Man not going to really be able to get any of the creep score that he wants in this position. However, he can continue to poison. There he is, going to continue to poison, get a few of those in his favor. Rumble still pushing very hard and not taking too much damage right now, even from the transfusion. Vlad, or Reginald, really wants to go for those last hits. So if Soaz sees Reginald use the transfusion on some of those minions, that's when you punish a Vlad. Yes. One time I played a Vlad against Vlad in mid versus a Xin Zhao, and I actually got him because I played that strategy. That he just wanted the last hits, and I was like, I'm not going to let you do that. So it's a very good thing that Soaz is doing right now, really taking advantage that those cooldowns are up on Reginald's side. The Flame Spitter right there, always doing a good amount of damage, and he's really keeping those minions in the turret range, so Reginald cannot get those last hits that he so much requires right now.
25 to 36, so he is definitely out creeping him. That is a good start to the lane.
Looks like Mumu is coming up top here. He did just get his red buff. The blue has worn off, but he is going to be able to do a good amount of damage here. The slow and the bandage toss as well. We'll have to see if Rain Man can get out of this one alive. Taking the Singe down early will definitely help the tank, or definitely help to negate his tankiness in the later part of the game. The bandage toss could happen right. Oh no, he misses, but he does get one of the minions right there. It will not create the stun. He's still going for MoMA though, taking a lot of damage, and he could go down, flinging him out. He does get flashed onto. It looks like Vlad goes down in middle by the hands of Soaz, as we were watching top two fights happening at this point in time. Rain Man lives, but the first blood goes to Soaz as he has 200 HP left. A very nice job tricking us into watching top lane. Darn.
And surprising us with his decision right there. You should probably be casting off my screen though, Rivington, since you were a good 5 seconds ahead of the fight there,
yes.
right now. So that was very good start for AAA. They pushed, well, they didn't quite push Singe out of his lane. No, Singe is still there. He's like, yeah, I'm Singed. I'm going to be fine. But they at least scared him quite a bit. Malzahar went home. He's coming back now with the makings of a catalyst there, obviously.
Yep.
And the first blood on Rumble, yeah, like I said, Rumble is going to be painful. He has his Hextech revolver. You don't want Rumble with that item, because that just means he's going to be nearly unkillable. And look at that. AAA are ahead in gold in what might be almost the first time in this best of 3 series.
Yeah, he's already out farming Reginald, obviously. Getting that kill down. I'm still pushing right now. Huge damage from that attack, and he's not even overheated at this point in time. Yeah. You see Singe backing from the top lane, and we are going to have to see what he proceeds to do from here. This is being zoned right now. He definitely has Reginald on a zone. That's what's happening. He's not going to be able to grab the XP from any of the purple minions at this point. A little bit from there, most likely, but he's not trying to go out too far. He does not want to get caught by Nunu, or Mumu, that is. And it looks like he will push him into the jungle. He's going right for the odd one. Wow. Nunu is right below. The ultimate coming out is going to slow down Reginald. He already used the Sanguine Pool, and it looked like the odd one could go down after thinking he could help Vladimir. No, he will live. And they both have little to no health as everybody actually starts to converge onto mid right now to assist their team.
That was a nice bait from Reginald right there. He knew that 2 of his team were there, but especially for some reason not choosing to join this fight. Probably wise, since Amumu and Sona were coming as well, and they could have helped a lot with their ultis, which are, well, Amumu's ulti is up. Sona is not level 4 yet, level 6 yet. And AAA are taking the first dragon right here.
That's going to be really nice. An 8-minute dragon. I think that's the earliest we've seen today. Usually that happens about 14, 16 minutes, and then extends into the 20-minute mark, and we see him being taken out as soon as they come in. That did go down around 8:30. We're going to see that coming up at 13, or 14 rather, sorry, 14:30. and we'll see who initiates onto that one. They are the only ones with a ward, but again, as you mentioned before, they have a ward on the outside, so they could have said them leaving that area, so they do have an idea of when the dragon will be back up.
Absolutely. Having a quick look at top lane, Singed at 58 kills versus Moma on Malzahar on only 44. So Singed is actually outlaning Malzahar here. Wow. Did not see that coming. That's Singed. I wonder why he's not played more. He's actually really powerful. And I know for a fact that Ginsu back home in LA is going to be very, very happy now. Singed, one of his favorite characters. And yeah, just a shout out there to the LA office. That Singed is doing work here. He's really basically getting Malzahar out of the game. And we saw last game how important that really farmed up Malzahar was. He was turning around team fights left and right. If you don't let him just farm up in his lane as he's used to, he actually... One thing, he's going to have less damage, but secondly, and this is a psychological thing, he may think, oh, it's that stage in the game, I probably have this much damage, and he may just overestimate his damage and make a mistake that way.
We see pings into middle, Alistar heading up. We do see a teleport coming onto that, though. Moma's going to be there, getting the ult down, and they are just going to be able to shred X special right there. A very nice communication and teleport coming out of the hands of Moma. Nice job. And as they go for Reginald in middle, it looks like he will be able to do a little flame spitter damage. And like you said, you know, being up top lane, that happens towards Dragon. It's going to be a Rumble that can go down with his W, and the teleport coming out of the hands of Moma. You called that exactly. And
as if we needed another reason for it, that's yet another reason for wards to just be super essential, because you can teleport. You can teleport onto minions and onto wards. You cannot teleport onto allied champions, which is, it creates a very, very interesting game in that, you know, wards have this other advantage. Oh, Soa's getting quite low here from the Flood ult and the Ignite. He is going to survive it. Yeah, he's going to be just fine. Puts down a strange ulti. I don't know what that was. That was most probably a misclick. So the Rumble ulti is a so-called directional cast spell. It's a new type of spell targeting that we introduced with Rumble, where you click once for the place of origin, and then you drag the mouse and release it for the direction of the ulti. Which is, it's hard to get a hang of, but these players should normally, you know, be able to do this reliably.
Yeah, it does take a few more seconds, but if you can get it off in time, he also was actually able to take down Vladimir within that instance. Again, Sin pushed back to his turret up top. Looks like Sona and Corki are forced to be around their turret right now. It's taken a little bit of damage, but everybody still has their turrets now. 11 minutes into the game, 2-0 so far in favor of Against All Authority at this point. And we have Moma just continuing to push his lane with Malefic Visions. It's really not his choice. If you cast it, it's going to do its thing. But that's what Malzahar does. He pushes your lane into the turret. 2 last hits missed there by Rain Man, and that's going to start affecting his game. That's what he wants, though.
Thanks, Rick.
The Rain Man was, before we said that he had more creep kills, 81 actually to 66, and he still does, so he's doing a great job at continuing that. Mumu is down low, waiting for the push here. They do see Nunu in the bush. You can see the ping on him right there, and he has walked in, and we'll see if they can get a bandage toss onto this. Alistar is going to have some good utility there to pop them up, or rather, against AAA. And he could use that to take down Corki possibly, and Sona would not have enough. But no, he goes for Sona right there, going for the headbutt into the wall, popping her up. Amumu makes himself apparent. The Sona all coming down. A lot of damage going down to TSM, and it looks like they may lose Chaos in this position. Another flash out. Linak coming up big. Yellow Star coming up on the kill. Caitlyn falls to the ground. Xpecial trying to get out of this one, and it looks like they may be able to do some more damage to the odd one. The blood boil on him made it possible for him to get out of that one. It looks like Vlad and Rumble in mid tussling around the turret. They both have extremely low health, and every time there's a fight in the lane, these guys just seem like they need to go at it. We're missing the action between these two in the 1v1s, but obviously they both lived on that one, using their skill to their advantage, and there's high-tier play, able to do some escapes. A very nice job with the ultimate. It looks like he could do a bit of damage. Will he be able to take him down? Going for the transfusion, and he does. Very nice. And we see that it almost pretty much canceled his ultimate, and he waited for him to get right after that, just in range of the transfusion. A nice kill, and he kind of gets a little retribution from earlier there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was a bit of a mistiming with the shield on Soa's side. He should have waited a little bit for the shield so that it was still up when the Vlad ulti actually pops. The Vlad ulti obviously only does damage at the end of its duration. Right. So he should have waited a little bit. He might have survived it, but he also stopped there to cast his ulti, which probably got him in range for that last transfuse. But it was super close, like you said. And Amumu was almost there to help. Amumu was actually waiting here at the race, waiting for Reggie to come into range for bandage trust, but Reggie was having none of it, playing his trademark super aggressive style and just going forward, going out of range of that bandage trust and just going in for the kill.
And it looks like Amumu returns to his jungle. And Nunu is still kind of walking around doing. He doesn't have too much mana, so it looks like he's going to have to head back at this point. And we have Rumble helping to take down that top, and they are both going to gain experience from that. No mana really on Linak, so he was like, hey, you know what, you want to hit these a few times for me? And it looks like Malzahar Momo will also back on top. It's going to be Corki and Sona down bottom, just doing their thing in that regular farm lane, the lane phase. As mid actually taking a little bit of damage here. There's a minion wave pushed up to it. Reginald's going to take advantage of that as Rumble finally comes back to his lane here. Going to go ahead and throw out the Flame Spitter, quickly clear out those minions that are giving him trouble and damage to the turret. As Singed continues to push top into that turret, we're going to see if he can do some damage. We have some pings down bottom, maybe for a gank in a few minutes. I believe that may have came from, that was Linak, but he's going to go for his blue before he gets down there first. And it's troublesome. Always hearing that from your jungler. Yeah, I'll be down bottom. Let me get this buff first. You're like, no, come down now.
Exactly. And I'm usually the jungler who says, let me get that buff first.
Let me do this first. It'll be more. It'll be advantageous. I promise.
And Moma's teleport is back up. They both have wards with them, Corki and Sona. If they put down a ward somewhere where the other team doesn't see them, Moma can teleport in again, and that Singed can actually get in range and fling Moma to cancel the teleport. But he has to be near him, and he goes back right now. So he leaves the door open for AAA to do this. But TSM super careful, staying near the tower, and that's probably the right call there.
Looks like Sona and 3 down bottom. I do not believe that they're going to see a Mumu walk up here. He is going to be in that first bush. Their ward is in the second, so they know that is absolutely clear. Rumble coming down to place a ward as he sees Reginald's going to walk right on top of that and be like, hey, I'm right here. 2 harpoons into the face of Reginald. Caitlyn, when she gets up too far, if there are no minions there, you're going to see an awesome bandage toss, hopefully from Linak. Grab that up. He does have his blue buff on, so he's going to be able to tantrum a lot more than he would regularly with those cooldowns.
He is probably going to wait for the minions to push and then go into the second push. No, actually, he goes, wow, where does he go?
Well,
okay, maybe setting up for the next dragon right now. Yes. Team TSM have a ward here, though, so this is going to be very, very dangerous for AAA.
Vladimir coming down from mid. He's going to cross through that bush. They're going to turn around, and right off the bat, Corki starts moving off towards Vladimir. We're going to see Moma teleporting down to the ward bottom, and they're going to be easily able to easily take Dragon, that is, as Rumble to return to his lane, possibly here, gank on Reginald. We're going to see if they come out very strong. If they flash on to go for the ultimate, no, they do not. They're just going to clear this wave, put 4 in mid, and Reginald is kind of forced here, but they don't have a minion wave behind them. So they have 4 minions, so they will be able to do something pretty good. He did not get the minions with his ultimate, and it looks like they're going to be able to take down this turret. That will be the first turret of the game, and they will continue to go into the second one. The lane's now forced to converge. One going down bottom, actually, as we have the 3 pushing. So now a little bit of a turret race here. Again, these teams doing this consecutively in their games, taking down turret for turret. A very nice job. And, you know, the global gold to be traded to both teams, but it looks like they actually stopped TSM short on their grab, or TSM, and they are forced to go back to base and block this as they are now ulting right onto Reginald. Reginald goes down with the Amumu ult as well. They do have enough minions there. There is still turret aggro on one of them. I believe it's just jumped off. The damage being done to the turret. A quick pulverize and headbutt by Alistar, trying to deter them from the damage that they're doing. And a very good push by AAA could really turn the table here. Huge damage onto Kaox. Caitlyn trying to get out of there. The ultimate just hitting her on the backside as she tries to get out of there. Corki goes down as well. Amumu inches from going down, and it's going to be a quick ice blast from the odd one as they chase him into the jungle. The Rain Man now to do what he can with Singed, going to flip Rumble in this situation. The poison will take him down, and a really nice trade there. It's going to be a 3 and 2 as Vladimir has just spawned himself.
But the inhib turret is almost down. It's down to 298 health, and these turrets do not regenerate health. So this turret, next time somebody as much as cuffs near it, it's just gonna crumble. Well, I would still say that AAA are in the advantage here. They're 3k gold ahead, and they have been doing really well when they're not, stupidly pushing all the way past the turret. And still they did so much damage. And I would say that it was the Rain Man who came in and turned that fight around with all his health. Nobody could focus him down quickly enough, and he did take down Rumble there and basically forced him out of the fight. Did that split that you were talking about earlier, just turning on the poison, forcing the team to decide, am I just going to stand in that noxious cloud there? What's it called? Yeah, is that what it's called? I think that's what it's called. Or am I going to split away from my team? Oh, in mid lane, they are pushing against turret, but AAA are like, nope, not giving you this one.
Looks like we got some pings in the jungle. They may not know where the rest of TSM is at this right now, so we'll have to see what they can do as they make their way top. Singed is there by himself, and they're saying, let's move up through the jungle. I'm gonna grab these golems first before we do that, though. That's what Linhack is saying. Once again,
I'll be right there, guys. I'll be right there.
I'll be right
Just
there,
a
I
second,
promise. Give me a second. So he's going to take those down and possibly move in with his team, but it looks like it's just going to be Sona, and they really want Moma to initiate on this one and catch Singed off guard. He's going to come in and just heal. Looks like they're not going to have anything with that, though, and they do not go into that fight.
Rumble obviously building a crystal scepter. Oh, actually has built a crystal scepter. That is the first core item for him after the pistol. The pistol just allows him to stay alive all the time. And that crystal scepter, obviously more survivability because of the health, but more importantly, extra slow. His ulti slows even more, means also does even more damage because it's going to take you that much more time to walk out of it. Just an all-round awesome item to have on Rumble. And he's probably going to go for Will of the Ancients, and then depending on how aggressive he feels, a Death Cap, or maybe a Void Step after.
Yeah, those are two really great items on Rumble. Being able to get that Hex Stack, just the Flame Spitter to steal so much health from all the minions that you're hitting in an AoE. Yeah. And then, as you said, the stacking slow, really just assisting all the abilities that he has in two really great items. Nothing wrong about either of them, and it affects all of his abilities. We are going to see blue being taken by Linhack. Very nice. As your buffs come up, you want to be able to grab them, so TSM does not, as they love to work with map control. Well, right now it seems like Against All Authority is really taking it to them. They are coming off that last win very strong, and the adrenaline pumping through their veins. Corki going to go ahead and farm bottom, but Mumu still moving through his jungle. Sona assisting the team, placing wards all around the map right now as Against All Authority doing a very nice job of controlling that. And the top turret that Moma is guarding right now, taking some damage, and he doesn't really feel confident in this situation without that minion wave being there. So he's going to wait for that, come back up, and play very cautious in that situation. You can see the ward control on the map right now is reviewing both. We'll see both teams. You can see all around the map. The wards, or the green dots that are not showing vision, are the traps from Caitlyn. And they are going to be able to stop people as well as give them vision and take a little bit of health away as well.
And there's a tower trade, bot versus top right there. Yellow Star and Kuja may be pushing further in. There is a Reginald right here. And a Nunu who could probably stop them, but they are absolutely safe. They can get away from that. And if a fight were to break out, Rumble and Amumu are closer than the rest of Team TSM.
We can see Rumble and Amumu making their way down towards that dragon area. They will choose to check, see if Wraiths are there. The Wraiths are not. And it looks like all of them are really gathering together. And this is that matter that makes the game of League of Legends a game of seconds. If you're there 10 seconds before, you're going to be able to grab Dragon and be able to turn around and fight after that if you're not taking too much damage. Sometimes it's a bad idea. We've seen it happen in one of the last games as a team came in a little bit too late on a Dragon and they were actually not able to do anything with it and they got taken out. As we see Moma backing up top. The rest of the team of Against All Authority making their way back to the lanes as a Mumu quite overextended, but nobody's really going to be able to do anything. That vision control is giving him that awareness and the ability to do that.
And Dragon should be coming up again very soon as we, yes, wow, that is perfect timing. Look at that. They had that timing down spot on and they just came back right at the right moment. TSM nowhere near. TSM are going somewhat in the direction of Baron, but it's too early for them to sneak Baron. They could kill Baron easily enough, but it would take them so long that AAA could catch up there and just, punish them for it. And AAA now 4K gold ahead of them. Wow. Are we actually going to see two European teams in well, actually we have the two European teams already. Are we actually going to see the first European team make it into the upper bracket final right here?
Yeah, we very much so could. This could be a forced fight here on the inhibitor turret. It is very, very low. It only has 298 health. That's really only a few shots or one shot from everybody on the team at this point. Corki's going to be doing huge damage. The Bloodthirster already in his favor. Stacks on it as well as he has been farming. And we have three traps from Caitlyn down. Anybody that wants a cupcake can grab one. And that's a very good strategy because that shuts the team down from really any mobility in front of that turret, trying to take it down. And even if you want to take it just to take the damage and get it out of there, they can really use that as an initiation on the fight. We're going to see them going right past, and they have them pushed into their base. They will not be going for Baron on this one, I don't believe.
Nope,
and it looks like they're just going to go top lane, push that in. The turret is at half health, and they should be able to grab this one really, really easily.
All ultimates currently available on both teams. If we see a team when wow, TSM, very smart decision. They saw that AAA were going top, so they said, well, that's a free mid turret for us, I guess. Rainman face tanking that with a force of nature. He's going to regen that in no time at all. Can even turn on his ultimate if he needs to. And AAA are too late to do anything about it. Maybe they can still catch him out of position, but it's unlikely. Even with Sonar's speed buff, yeah, they decided not to chase after him. So that was a little bit less than ideal from AAA to leave that push. They could have taken the tower as well, you know, and in that time, TSM would never have been able to take the second tower. To leave that push and then not do anything.
Power in numbers right now for Against All Authority, especially when in the river you can be caught off guard very easily with that loss of sight in the bushes. Looks like they are going to be able to move around here. I don't believe that is their ward in the bush. Yes, it may be actually.
It is their ward.
Yes, it is their ward as I switch around to the vision, and we'll see what they can do. Just on the other side of the lane is the entire team of TSM, SoloMid, and Against All Authority actually backing off from each other now. No fight to happen or initiate there. Bottom turret is actually about to take a large minion wave. You're going to see Rumble head down there with his W. Go ahead and pick that up as the rest of the team goes around the jungle. Corky's going to get the red, and we see Malzahar about to clear this wave up top. Everybody's just, you know, setting everything up for the next fight.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, AAA were definitely an advantage, and they could have chosen to pick a fight here, but, you know, why not just get ward control back, like the Yellow Star just did, and set up and pick a fight that you're 100% certain you are ready for. And Baron is up for grabs, so they can definitely force a fight at Baron whenever they feel like it.
Nunu's going to head in, find there are no wards in that. We do have the oracles. I'm going to head over here to Against All Authority's side. They also do not have an oracle. We'll see how that affects them, as they do have a lot of ward control, but they don't know where the wards are. Wow, KX taking a lot of damage from the ultimate of Rumble. Reginald still making his way in with Vladimir, using the pool quite early as he gets stunned down there a little too early, and it looks like the stun, or the ultimate rather, from Sona, a very good job. They're going to quickly face tank this turret, go ahead for the inhibitor. Alistar X-Special is forced to go back, meeting Centrum up top, doing a great job so far, and it looks like these guys are going to try to do something here as they take down the inhibitor finally.
Nice.
After doing enough damage. Alistar was like, maybe we have a chance on this. Let's start to push out again. But, you know, nothing happening. Singe did come back, and they're able to set up the defense. Now forced to be in the base as the super minions start spawning down mid. They're able to kind of focus, start that split push that we've been talking about a little bit, and we're going to see what they can do here.
At the vision of Team AAA, we see this is very important. The two main paths that lead to Baron. And they see the three surviving members of Team TSM coming for them. But what is going to happen here? There's an Amumu ulti catching the Raymond, but that's not the man that you want to catch right now. Linda getting very low, Baron still up, still attacking people. Soas trying to put some damage out on the Raymond. The Raymond, I guess, finally going down. And wow, in the midst of all that, AAA picking up the Baron and picking up 2 kills. Amazing.
Very destructive fight by TSM to go in with 3v5, hoping that Baron would really act as their 4th member in that one, but just so much burst heal coming out of Soda. Caitlyn being caught off guard. KX right in the ultimate, does not have a flash up, a quick bandage toss, and Yellowstar able to take him down. It's all up to Rumble now. He is the only one left. The next one in 10 seconds is Alistar, and then 11 is Nunu, and that is Six Special and the odd one to come back in and help the team. Will they be able to face tank these, and will AAA be our first team heading on into the winner's bracket, pushing Team SoloMid down into the lower? Not enough damage on these Nexus turrets, but they do have a super minion wave coming up right behind them. They are going to be able to take down one Nexus turret. Yellowstar destroying that, and it looks like they'll be forced out on this one. The first time we've seen a push not be completely successful on the Nexus turrets, but it is going to be a detrimental push right there for Team SoloMid.
7k golden advantage almost for AAA right now, and the Baron buff, they can just go home, heal up, pot up, and push whatever lane they choose, and there's nothing TSM can do. This is dire for TSM. Obviously, they're not going to be out of this. They're still going to be in a loser bracket, where they're going to meet the loser of Epic versus Fnatic. Neither of them easy teams to fight at all. But yeah, it's looking really, really good for the Europeans of AAA right now, and as I just heard, that can be witnessed by a lot of people here in Elmia and 190,000 people at home on the streams. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. My mind is blown. So many people enjoy watching this kind of stuff.
Yeah, of course we do as well. Amazing matches so far, and right now AAA really showing why they are a top caliber team and why they're here to represent their respective countries in the EU and really take that pride home with them as well. And we're going to see what they can continue to do here against the NA team SoloMid, as SoloMid is kind of now backed into a corner, that rock in a hard place, as they need to farm this out. They must wait for that inhibitor to come back up. So easily could be backdoored by this Corki, and they do not want that to happen. Also, Malzahar with the teleport could easily make it in with a minion wave, and they're going to be able to take this turret down, and that is not good. When you know you just can't stop your turrets, the mentality game is really coming into play for TSM right now. AAA is really on top of Cloud9 at this point in time, and they're looking to just go into this one. Balls out. They want to do the damage. Really good initiation so far. Reginald trying to do damage from inside the base, but he's kind of getting harassed on the other side as well. If they just put a ward over, and they do not have an Oracles to take that out, so they're going to be able to play the poke game. The Oracle's on the side with Sona, and they're going to be able to shut that down. Another minion wave coming up behind him. Rainman looking to initiate again. It all goes down. He throws down the adhesive, and the Vlad also goes down, proccing on 2 of the AAA members against All Authority, looking to take some damage. Sona with a good burst heal. Looks like they will be able to drop Rainman. KX also falls. This could be the final push for it, and it looks like AAA will be the first team going into the winner's bracket here. The semifinals of the Season 1 Championship for League of Legends here. Jönköping, Sweden, and we are about to see these teams with a beautiful interview, and GG, very much so. A great push and a great all-around game by Against All Authority. TSM coming out very strong and really winning on the base race. I guess Against All Authority was like, we don't want that to happen anymore. We're going for the solid game, and I really want to know what would have happened if Against All Authority would have backed in that game to stop the base race.
It's doubtful. I don't know. I have absolutely no idea what would have happened. I mean, these games have all been incredibly close. This last game, finally, AAA had a bit of momentum in the beginning, and they never lost it. I really loved it. It looked like they actually learned their lesson from the first couple of games, where they threw away their momentum sometimes. This time they were just super conservative, and we can see that SoloMid talking about the game right now. What are they going to do in the loser bracket against either Fnatic or Epic? I don't think that Andy Din wants to play his brother Dan Din, but you know, Fnatic are not easy enemies either, as they've shown today with their full lineup, including XP.
Yeah, an amazing matchup. Team SoloMid was not ready for what AAA brought to the table. They had a very solid first match. AAA, however, winning a lot of the team fights, catching a lot off guard, and really not leaving anything to chance after that. They wanted more. They were very hungry, and it was easily noticeable as they came into each team fight. They would not stop. Rayman, I don't want to throw it onto him, but I think he initiated and over-initiated with that Singe, thinking he had a little bit more time to live. The 3v5 Baron, thinking Baron as the 4th, as they were still, attacking Baron, trying to get that in their favor. But really, once they got to Baron, AAA was perfectly fine with that, and they started attacking TSM instead of trying to get the Baron, and that was really the correct decision.
And
as you saw,
got the Baron.
They still got the Baron, and they used that to their advantage in the victory. They don't have it right now, but it really wasn't necessary on that last push. The minion waves really able to help them out, and they were able to come out very big with that win, moving up to the winner's bracket.
If we can cut to the scores real quick, we'll have a look at the builds, and we can see a lot of cooldown reduction there for TSM on the Odd One and X Special. Scores should be coming up any second now. And what this is basically, these 2 heroes, Alistair and Nunu, are extremely utility-based heroes. So the low cooldowns on them just means that you can throw more ice bolts, you can do more pulverizers and so on. And if you want to relieve me, Rivington, just talk about the rest of the builds right there for us for a moment.
Yes, Chaox just doing a very nice job. Grabbing his Infinity Edge quite early, was trying to play that game for damage, stay on the outside, and he just wasn't able to do it. We saw him focus so many times. Malzahar was the one to just throw Malefic Visions on him right away, and that's a lot of damage for somebody like Caitlyn, just taking so much, because they are a carry. Carries are regularly more squishy, they can't take as much damage, and usually they don't build magic resistance right off the bat. We're going to see where the damage dealt is, or damage taken as well, and that damage taken, damage dealt actually was Yellowstone. star able to grab the top on that is Corky. Reginald is Vladimir. And we see Momo right behind in a close battle for third place with Rayman and Chaos. Chaos doing a great job for his team, as I said, with Caitlyn getting that Infinity Edge early, but it just was not enough to carry the team to the victory with the composition that they had. Unfortunately, Singed, like I said, taking a lot of damage, just going in there early in the fights without really enough support from his team, could have cost him a few team fights and really turned the tide of the game for TSM.
And on the Rainman here, we see the makings of Crystal Scepter as well, with the Giant's Belt and the Blasting Wand, and that just turns his already very, very powerful glue into almost a root, You just, I can't move anymore. That makes the initiations all that much stronger.
Yep.
But if there's no damage to follow it up, Reginald playing a very, very solid Vlad here. Even though the score says 1-for-1, don't be confused by that. He had a perfect game there, at least early in the lane. He got Rumble down once. But let's look at the other team and look at that Rumble. Look at that Rumble. A Pistol Scepter, Crystal Scepter, and a Hextech Revolver. So basically he had a scepter in each hand, I guess, and a revolver in his mouth. That kind of feels awkward. But yeah, that's so much sustain. That's the Spell Vamp here. That is magic resist, additional life.
Magic resist and magic debuff as well, lowering the magic resist of his enemies.
And you're going to be in there anyway, and everything that Moma does is going to hurt so much more. Just a perfect synergistic team setup there. And Yellow Star going for a Bloodthirster first and into a Sheen. That would have been, that would have been a Trinity Force very soon, but yeah, just a perfect look. And I believe we're going to have the interviews very soon.
Coming up quite soon.
Coming up any moment right now. And yeah, I would have to say this game clearly went in AAA's favor.
It really did. And you think about the base race in the beginning and how awesome it was, but it was almost in favor of AAA as well.
Yeah.
So it could have meant that, AAA is playing the more solid game overall. Obviously, they have won, but since the beginning, they were doing the same. It really came down to who took the first steps away from Baron that made that base race effective for Team SoloMid, and that was a very good call by Reginald to do that. It just wasn't enough to carry them through the rest of the games, and we'll have to see how they can do. I'm pretty confident they're going to be able to pull it back out of the losers bracket. We'll have to see. You can't predict everything, and it's really up to Team SoloMid to be able to do that. You're kind of get this mentality out. Once you know the game is over, you just want to think about what went wrong, but really focus on the next game and what you have to do for the next day.
I can tell you one thing. I can make one prediction. If, and I'm saying if, just if Epic don't manage to win the next game, it's going to be a Din versus Din brother showdown in the loser bracket, the lower bracket I should say, and that is going to be so much psychological damage right there. Are you going to want to kick your brother out of a tournament? But one of them has to be kicked out.
Yeah, they really do. At this point, at the high caliber, you're fighting for yourself. It's the nitty-gritty. It is your brother, but I think they're going to go at it still head-to-head and 110% all out with their adrenaline pumping. It's going to be that kind of vendetta scene when they get into it. So it'll definitely be cool to see if it does come down to that. Let the teams, talk over what happened. We're definitely going to get these interviews with you soon.
Yes, very
So
soon.
stay tuned for those. And I believe we just got the cue that they are ready for the interviews. So let's see what was going through the minds of AAA and TSM.
Before we cut over, just please, everybody stay tuned. Possibly the most epic game of the day is coming up because it's actually going to feature Team Epic. Epic versus Fnatic. Do not miss that best of 3. It's going to be amazing. And over to the interview.
Hey everybody, it's Andrew Beagle again, and we're here with the Rain Man from Team SoloMid. You win some, you lose some, but you guys played amazing. What's going through your team's head right now?
I mean, the other team, they just played really well. I mean, you can't be mad about it, It's just, they played so well. I mean, we did what we could. We played, we brought our all today. I mean, we just brought everything, and we feel like we've finally come against a European team that really, we're pretty evenly matched, we feel like. And we feel like they could have gone either way, and they just did things, and they played better. They just outplayed us in general, so.
And I absolutely agree that there was a really even matchup. You guys played amazingly. And the first 2 games were just, everyone had white knuckles in the back. The crowd was going wild. We had probably the biggest crowd that we've had and the most intense matches that we've had. What was the difference in that third match?
The third match, well, we didn't ban Rumble. But, yeah, we didn't ban Rumble. We lost lanes, and I don't know. We got outplayed. Just in general, it's a learning experience for us. So I don't know. We'll just see what we can do next time, I guess.
Well, we definitely appreciate your team's valid effort. You guys did amazing, and it was great to watch you. Going to kick it over to Karen to talk with the winning team right now.
I'm here with MoMA from Team AAA, and they just dominated against TSM. How do you feel right now?
I feel pretty happy, and I'm so exhausted after these 3 intense matches. We are so sad losing the first match because of this one mistake there at the end. But the second match pushed us so hard, and we feel like we can still win, and we tried our best, and the third game was then pretty good match for us.
Right, and so, throughout 3 games, they were so incredibly equal. You guys were matched in gold, kills, towers generally, and all those matches really just came down to that big final, push at the very end. How did your strategies change throughout the 3 games, or even within a game?
Well, we just changed the mage to Malzahar. I think it was a really good mage against their setup, since they play a very tanky setup, and the pool is very good against so much tanks. And yeah, I think this was the main reason why we could do so much damage. Also in the second game, Soaz on Warwick was really, really strong, and that made us win the second game so strong. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, absolutely. And, with this game being as close as it was, every little mistake you could have made, really could have cost you the game. So, what type of mistakes were you specifically trying to avoid in these games?
Well, especially in the second game, the last fight was the all-deciding fight, so we really needed to win the fight or they will just finish the game. So we really were very, very careful there at the second match, and luckily we won the fight and we could finish the game, so that's what's the mistake we wanted to prevent.
Absolutely. And so with this game, you now move into the semifinals. Pressure is kind of on. What are your final thoughts heading into the matches for semifinals?
Well, I think I need to have a break now, but I hope to play against Fnatic. I would like to have Europe final there in the upper bracket. But yeah, we'll see who we play against, and then we try to find the right strategy for the team who are playing against.
Well, we really look forward to it. You've definitely earned your rest, so thank you so much, and back to you guys.
Hi, this is Montag from Riot Games. They're holding me hostage in the Riot offices all weekend, and I only have a second to get this out before they find out I'm here, so listen up. Follow @RiotPendragon and @RiotTamant for some awesome stuff coming up. Look out for chances to win the exclusive Viking Tryndamere skin, and get involved in all the shenanigans going on at DreamHack. If we get enough followers, I might be able to escape while they celebrate. I might be able to get another message out then. I don't know. They keep saying things about cake. I've got to get out of here.
What are you doing?